So let's talk about something practical now. Breaking the pattern of negative self-talk and victim mindset. Many of us feel overwhelmed and anxious due to our busy lives and work situations. How can we change that? Well, it's been said that meditating for even a short time each day can help. But if you're super busy, you might need even more time. That's why some folks meditate for an hour or even 2 hours daily. You see, our thoughts play a big role in shaping our future. If we keep thinking the same way every day, nothing much will change. Our thoughts lead to the same choices, behaviors, and experiences. So to create a new life, we need to change our thoughts and actions. It's all about becoming aware of our habits and emotions and deciding if they belong in our future. Simply put, to create a new reality, we have to become a new version of ourselves. That's where neuroscience comes in. Our thoughts and actions wire our brains in certain patterns. If we want a different outcome, we have to change those patterns. When you do something for a long time, like 10 years, it becomes a part of who you are. People who used to think that once you reached 35, your habits were set and couldn't be changed. But now we know that's not true. Our brains are always running on autopilot, following the same patterns over and over again. To change these habits, we have to break free from them, which can be uncomfortable. Most people prefer the predictability of their old habits to the uncertainty of change. But if we want to change, we need to overcome this discomfort and step into the unknown. Our emotions are often tied to past events, keeping us stuck in old patterns. By letting go of these emotions, we can break free from the past, create new habits for the future. It's not easy, but it's possible. So when you step into something new and it feels uncomfortable, your body might prefer feeling guilty or unhappy because at least that's familiar and safe. Your mind might start coming up with excuses like, I can start tomorrow, or I'm too busy, blaming things like your mother or your culture. These are the programs in your mind that stand in the way of your future. But when you observe these thoughts and feelings, you're no longer just running on autopilot. You become more conscious of how you speak, act, and feel. The more you're aware of these unconscious programs, the less they control you during the day. Meditation helps you become familiar with these thoughts. It makes you more aware of your actions and feelings. It's not enough to just meditate and then go back to your old ways. You need to maintain this awareness throughout the day. When you do this consistently, you start to notice coincidences or synchronicities in your life, which are like signs that you're on the right path. Teaching people this formula can lead to significant changes in their lives. Studies have shown that practicing this can change brain and heart coherence quickly. It's something you can learn and apply to see positive results in your life. They now know how to do it, so what's the significance of that? Well, it's really simple. In your life, if you start reacting the same way to the same people and circumstances, you're going back to your old self. So you have to stay aware of your life. If you're not being guided by a vision of the future, then you're stuck with memories of the past, and you'll be predictable in your life. Crossing that river of change from the old self to the new self involves a biological, chemical, hormonal, and genetic transformation of the old self. But if you show people that there's something better on the other side, they won't give up on themselves. They'll keep going. There's enough evidence to encourage people. You can't tell me you're too old, too sick, or had a turbulent past. Our community is starting to understand that change is possible, and they all go in. When they start getting beyond themselves, magic starts to happen, and I can't predict what's next. It's usually pretty exciting. It's been said that when the pain of staying with same outweighs the pain of change, then we will change. Exactly right. How bad does it have to get? Why do we get so attached to our old selves? Is it security, safety, familiarity? I think we've been conditioned to become materialistic, defining reality with our senses. Can you believe in the future that you can't see yet, but you've thought about enough times that your brain changes to make it seem like it's already happened? The latest research says that's possible. Can you emotionally embrace a new future every day to the point where your body starts to change as if that future has already happened? The latest research in epigenetics says it's totally possible. Imagine this. Every day, you're setting up the wiring. Every day, you're training your body to feel like the future has already happened. Your body starts changing to match that future. And here's the fun part. You don't have to go chasing after it anymore. Now it starts coming to you. You become like a magnet pulling your destiny towards you. So when people finish their meditation and wonder why they're not rich yet, well, they're not quite there yet. If you're asking why it hasn't happened, you're slipping back into your old self. Try staying in that state for longer, like a scientist observing what happens when you keep your energy connected to your future dream. Don't rush it. Don't get frustrated and don't analyze what's not happening yet. That's the trap of relying too much on what you see and sense. If you think of the future but don't see it, you might feel disconnected. People who practice this stuff, they think of the future and feel the emotions of it. They're still plugged into it. It takes practice, just like learning to play sports or an instrument. You start out really focused and conscious, and it becomes second nature and fun. Creation should be joyful, playful, ecstatic, and liberating process. I love the idea of people taking time to prove to themselves that if they focus on the future vision, they're not stuck in the past. The unknown might be scary for many, but that's where the magic happens. It's not just about achieving wealth, health, freedom, or a new relationship. It's about transforming yourself. Overcoming your old self allows you to become someone new. There's a period of transition, which I call the void, where things might seem quiet. That's when you need to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. The universe gives us what we believe we deserve. We have to understand that we can create from the quantum field instead of just focusing on changing things in the physical world. It might take time to shift this old way of thinking, but once you do, magic starts happening. There's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen. When you catch yourself doing something you want to change, what do? Do you write it down, make a note, or just remember it? And what about the strong emotions and anxiety that come with it? They can feel very real and overwhelming. I was at the Facebook headquarters recently trying out their new virtual reality technology. Studies show that your body reacts the same way in virtual reality as it would in real life. For example, if you're hanging off a cliff in virtual reality, your body feels like it's really happening. This shows how powerful our imagination can be. So after you catch yourself doing something you want to change, what happens to those emotions? Just like in golf, if you fall back into a bad habit, you have to mentally rehearse to get back on track. At the end of each day, reflect on how you did and what caused you to react in certain ways. Then think about how you can handle similar situations differently in the future. By visualizing yourself reacting differently, you're rewiring your brain to make those changes. This is more important than anything else because it helps you become the person you want to be. It's more important to focus on how you can do things differently in the future than to dwell on your past or mundane things like dinner. This process of thinking about change is already happening in your brain, but you need to be aware of it. This means taking time away from distractions like turning off your phone and finding a quiet space to practice. With practice, you'll start to notice when negative feelings of frustration or fear arise. We've given people tools to help them stay calm and focused, like taking deep breath and connecting with their future goals. This helps them avoid losing their motivation and keeps their energy high. At first, it can be challenging to stay conscious and not fall back into old habits, but with persistence and sincerity, you can learn to take control of your reactions. Instead of making excuses when things get tough, use those moments to correct your course and grow. People who have had profound experiences often look back on their lives and appreciate the challenges they've overcome because those moments shaped who they are today. They understand that the effort they've put into personal growth is invaluable. So even after achieving your goals, keep pushing yourself to try new things and evolve. That's true evolution. If you want more videos like this, click on the boxes and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like these.